Troll Story 1. Natalie had been glowing lately. The kind of soft, private glow that has nothing to do with the man who's been microwaving her leftover Thai food for the last 11 years. It was all perfectly innocent, of course. There was this new guy at work, Jonah, 35, single, read poetry unironically, and crucially listened to Natalie the way Ethan had stopped listening somewhere around year 7. Jonah sent her articles. He used emojis that weren't just thumbs up. He asked follow-up questions. Yesterday he'd texted her at 11:03 p.m. Can't sleep. Thinking about what you said about Monet's water lilies. You ruined me for normal conversation. Ethan saw the preview on her lock screen when she left her phone on the kitchen island to take a quick shower. That lasted 42 minutes. That was the moment Ethan decided. If his wife was going to audition a new leading man, he was going to audition a new leading lady, loudly, obnoxiously, and with the subtlety of a marching band. He created a brand new Instagram account under the name Ethan in Real Life. Verified 0 followers. Profile pic: a shirtless mirror selfie he took in the laundry room at 1 a.m. while flexing like a man who'd never met a push-up. Then he went full Jonah, but evil twin version. First text to Natalie the next morning. Sent while she was blow-drying her hair, so he knew she'd see it pop up on her watch. Ethan to himself, out loud, for the benefit of the audience at home. Oh my God, Sophia from accounting just sent me the cutest voice note. Listen to this woman's mind. He hit play on a voice memo he'd recorded himself in a high-pitched whisper. Hey Ethan, I know this is forward, but your spreadsheet comments today, absolute poetry. Also, you smell like cedar and good decisions. Call me. Sophia. Natalie's blow dryer stopped mid-roar. Sophia from accounting, she repeated, sticking her head out of the bathroom. Since when do you have a Sophia? Ethan looked up slowly, eyes wide with counterfeit wonder. Nat, babe, I don't know how to explain this, but she sees me, like really sees me. Yesterday she said my pivot tables gave her chills. Chills, Natalie. He clutched his chest like a Victorian maiden. Natalie's face did a complicated journey from confusion to suspicion to something dangerously close to jealousy. That night at dinner he kept going. Ethan sighing dreamily. Sophia says I deserve someone who laughs at my puns without rolling their eyes. Can you imagine? Someone who thinks I'm funny on purpose. He took a bite of salmon and moaned theatrically. She made me salmon emojis today, 3 of them in a row. That's basically nudes in millennial. Natalie put her fork down with a clink. You're being ridiculous. Ridiculous, Ethan gasped. Sweetheart, I'm being seen. For the first time in years, someone is noticing that I have layers like an onion, a sexy, cedar-scented onion. He pulled out his phone and started typing with the enthusiasm of a teenager. What are you writing? Natalie asked, voice climbing. Just telling Sophia that my wife is interrogating me about my emotional fulfillment. She's going to have so many feelings about this. Natalie snatched the phone, stared at the screen, and saw the Notes app open to a grocery list. She looked up slowly. Ethan grinned like the devil-winning employee of the month. There is no Sophia, is there? She said. Nope, but there is a Jonah who thinks your takes on Monet are life-changing, apparently. Natalie opened her mouth, closed it, then opened it again. You absolute troll. Mirrors are a bitch, huh? Ethan said sweetly. Imagine how stupid we both look right now. She stared at him for 5 long seconds, then did the only sensible thing. She started laughing so hard she had to put her head on the table. When she finally caught her breath, she wiped her eyes and said, delete the fake Instagram. Only if you block Water Lily Boy. Done, she said, already reaching for her phone. Also, for the record, your pivot tables are garbage. Ethan clutched his heart again. Now she's being mean to me. Sophia would never. Natalie threw a napkin at his head. "Welcome back, asshole," she said fondly. And just like that, the almost affair and the fake almost affair canceled each other out, leaving only the two of them slightly mortified, fully ridiculous, and suddenly, weirdly, in love again. Troll Story 2. Darren first noticed when Claire started pronouncing Ryan's name like it was sponsored by angels. "Ryan says the new branding is subversive yet tender," she cooed one night, eyes sparkling at her phone like it was about to propose. Darren, folding laundry, deadpanned, "Wow, subversive yet tender. Did he also invent oxygen, or is that coming in Q3? Claire didn't hear him. She was already typing back heart emojis the size of softballs. 2 weeks later, the house smelled like a department store counter on a Saturday. Darren sniffed the air. New perfume, or did Ryan bottle his essence and mail it to you? "It's just a little scent," Claire said, twirling for nobody. "Smells like emotional affair with top notes of bad decisions," Darren muttered. That night she came home glowing, humming some indie song he didn't know. He looked up from the couch. "How was drinks with Lord Byron?" "Amazing," she sighed. "He gets me." "Congratulations," Darren said, clapping slowly. "After 11 years I still can't get why you put empty yogurt containers back in the fridge, but Ryan from accounting cracked the code in 6 weeks. Teach me his ways, guru." She rolled her eyes and floated upstairs. That was the night Darren resurrected Melissa. He typed, "The prophecy has been fulfilled. My wife is now spiritually married to a man who uses the word curate unironically. Your move." Melissa, online in 0.2 seconds. "Took her long enough. I've been keeping the seat warm since 2019. Shirtless pic for proof of life." Darren sent one. Terrible lighting, decent abs. Melissa, still illegally hot. I'm offended on Claire's behalf. Game on. The next morning Claire was humming again, applying lip tint like she had a Vogue shoot in the office break room. Darren leaned in the doorway sipping coffee. Big day merging souls with Ryan. "We're just grabbing coffee." "Coffee," Darren repeated. "Very bold. Last week it was just drinks, before that just lunch. At this rate by Friday you'll be just eloping. Should I pick up rice or will Ryan curate artisanal quinoa for the occasion?" Claire gave him a withering look and left. 10 minutes later Darren posted an Instagram story. A latte with a perfect foam heart, captioned, "She gets my order right every time hot red M." Claire saw it at 10:17 a.m. because she stormed through the door at 6:42 p.m. like a Category 5 hurricane in heels. "Who the hell is M and why is she getting your order right?" she demanded. Darren didn't even look up from his phone. "Oh, Melissa, old friend, amazing listener. Uses correct grammar in texts. I know, wild concept." Claire's eyes narrowed to slits. "You're doing this on purpose." "Doing what?" he asked, all innocence. "Having a totally platonic, deeply fulfilling emotional connection with someone who thinks I'm fascinating. Why would that bother you? It's not like we're touching. We're just vibing, soul vibing, curating feelings." He stood up, stretched. "Honestly, Claire, I feel seen. For the first time in years. It's like she looked into my soul and said, 'Nice soul, bro.'" Claire's mouth opened, closed, opened again. "You're an asshole." "Subversively tender asshole," he corrected. "Ryan taught me that one." That night she sat on the couch, vibrating with rage and something that looked suspiciously like panic. Darren flopped down beside her, opened his phone, and started typing theatrically. Claire snatched it, blank notes app, grocery list, milk, eggs, revenge. She stared at him. "There is no Melissa latte, is there?" "There is a Melissa," he said cheerfully. "She's very real and very thrilled I finally took her up on her decade-old offer to be my emotional backup dancer. But no latte. I made it with the Nespresso you said was mid." Claire looked like she was calculating how many years she'd get for murder. "You absolute troll," she hissed. He grinned. Takes one to know one, babe. She threw a pillow at his head. He caught it. Ryan's blocked, she said through clenched teeth. Melissa's archived, he countered. We're even. Not even close, she said, climbing into his lap with furious intent. You're going to pay for that latte picture. Gladly, he said, already kissing her like a man who'd missed the taste of his own wife. But fair warning, I still have the shirtless mirror pic, and I'm not afraid to use it. Do it and die, she growled against his mouth. Worth it, he laughed. And somewhere in the cloud, Ryan and Melissa never knew how close they came to collateral glory. Troll Story 3. The Best Man's Toast. Or How Jake Learned the Art of the Mirror. 10 years ago, at Tyler's wedding in that overgrown vineyard outside Sonoma, the old crew from State crowded around a picnic table that was already sticky with spilled Cabernet. Tyler, the groom, was 28, nervous, and still convinced love was a straight line you could plot on a graph. We weren't going to let him keep that illusion. Ryan, married 5 years, already on his second, we're working through some things phase, raised his glass first. Tyler, buddy, one piece of advice before you sign your life away. If she ever starts drifting, texts get short, plans get canceled, she's tired every night, just drift harder. Outdrift her. Show her what the view looks like from the other side. It's the only mirror she'll ever believe. Mike, divorced once and remarried to a woman who could out-argue a Supreme Court justice, laughed so hard he snorted. Works like a charm. My ex started sleeping with the phone under her pillow, so I started sleeping with mine on the nightstand, screen facing her, notifications on blast. Took 4 days before she threw it across the room and asked why I was being distant. Beautiful moment. Chris, still single, still convinced he was one good playlist away from solving women forever, leaned in. Scientific method, bro, hypothesis. She doesn't notice you until you stop noticing her. Test it, collect data, publish. Tyler rolled his eyes, but we could see the words burrowing in like ticks. We clinked plastic cups and moved on to toasting his imminent doom. Fast forward 8 years. Tyler and Lauren had the house in the suburbs, the golden retriever that never retrieved anything, and the 2 kids who somehow both looked exactly like Lauren when they were mad. Life was fine. Fine is the slow-acting poison nobody warns you about. It started small. Lauren began staying late at work for a project. Then the project needed Saturday mornings. Then her phone started doing that thing where it flips over the second Tyler walked into the room. Date nights turned into maybe next week, babe, I'm wiped. The dog got more conversation than he did. One Thursday, Tyler came home to an empty house and a post-it on the fridge. Girls' night, don't wait up. He stared at the note for a long time, heard Ryan's voice from a decade ago, drift harder, and something clicked. Phase 1. The slow fade. The next morning Tyler woke up, kissed Lauren on the forehead like always and said, "Big deadline today, probably gonna be late." She barely looked up from her phone. Cool. Came home at 10:47 p.m., showered and went straight to bed. No, how was girls' night? No, nothing. Friday he did it again. And Saturday he had drinks with the guys from work. He actually sat in a parking lot and read a book on his phone, but she didn't need to know that. By Tuesday, Lauren was squinting at him across the kitchen island. You okay? You've been quiet. Tyler gave her the same half-smile she'd been giving him for weeks. Yeah, just wiped, crazy week. 2. The phone flip. Wednesday night they were both on the couch, Lauren scrolling, Tyler scrolling. She set her phone face down on the coffee table. 30 seconds later, Tyler set his face down right next to it, same angle, same dramatic little tap. Then he looked over and smiled like it was the most natural thing in the world. Lauren's eyes flicked to the phones, then to him. What are you doing? Nothing, just didn't want to bother you with notifications. She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. Nothing came out. Phase 3, the full mirror. Thursday was date night, the one she'd rescheduled twice. Tyler texted at 4:12 p.m. Hey babe, might have to rain check tonight. Super tired from the week. The reply came in 0.3 seconds. Wait, what? We've had this planned for 2 weeks. He waited a full 7 minutes, the exact average delay she'd been hitting him with, then typed. Yeah, I know, sorry, just not really feeling it. Maybe next week. The three dots appeared, vanished, appeared again. Then his phone rang. Lauren's name on the screen. He let it ring twice before answering, voice soft, almost sleepy. Hey, what's up? Tyler, are you serious right now? About what? You're bailing on date night because you're not feeling it. He paused just long enough. I mean, yeah, you've seemed pretty checked out lately. Figured you wouldn't mind. So thick he could hear the dog breathing in the background. Checked out, she finally said, voice climbing. When have I been checked out? Tyler smiled in the dark of his home office, where he'd been waiting with a glass of the good bourbon. I don't know, babe. The last few months you've just seemed tired, distant. It's fine, I get it. Work's crazy, kids are a lot, I'm not mad. More silence. Then, can you come home, like now? On my way, he said, already grabbing his keys. He walked in 20 minutes later to find Lauren on the couch, arms crossed. Eyes red but dry, she wasn't giving him the satisfaction of tears. The dog sat between them like a UN peacekeeper. She looked up. You were doing it on purpose. Doing what? Everything, the late nights, the phone thing, canceling date night. You were copying me. Tyler sat down, took her hand. Not copying, reflecting. You stopped seeing me, so I showed you what it feels like when I stop seeing you. Apparently the view sucks from both sides. Lauren stared at him for a long beat, then huffed a laugh that sounded suspiciously like surrender. You're an asshole, married one, technically. She leaned her head on his shoulder. I hate that it worked. Me too, he said, but I love that you noticed. They sat like that for a while. Eventually she whispered, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was drifting. I know, he said. That's why I brought the mirror. Years later, at Ryan's third wedding, don't ask, the old crew raised their glasses again. Tyler stood, cleared his throat, and grinned at the table. Gentlemen, a toast to the best advice I ever ignored for 8 years, and then followed perfectly. May your wives never force you to use it. Everyone clinked. Lauren, sitting next to him, elbowed him in the ribs hard, but she was smiling while she did it. Some marriages run on love, some on compromise, and a few lucky ones run on high-quality, weaponized sarcasm. Tyler and Lauren, it turns out, got the deluxe package.